For this video, you find me with the 2022 Lexus NX. This is the NX 350 hybrid to be specific, and it's finished with a Grecian water paint and a black interior. With all the added packages like the 20-inch wheels, the premium audio system, the 360-degree camera view, and a lot more to mention, this example that I'm testing comes to $56,500 after delivery. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Shifting Lanes. My name is Hanson, and in this video, I want to share with you my likes and dislikes about this new Lexus NX. This is a compact crossover slotting in between the UX and the RX, both of which I reviewed before, so make sure to check out the links in the description box below. For 2022, the NX is all new. It's sporting a new body that resembles that chiseled look of the UX. It has an all-new and much-needed revamp of the Lexus infotainment system. This new NX also comes with a bunch of engine options, starting with the 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine. Then you have the turbocharged 2.5-liter engine. Then you have this hybrid version, which is what I'm testing right now. And then finally, you have the plug-in hybrid version, which can be found in the NX 450h Plus, which is the same equipment you can find in the Toyota RAV4 Prime. So I want to start this review with the exterior first, and like always, if you learned anything new from this video, or if you like it, please make sure to hit that like button, and then hit that subscribe and the notification bell to help this channel grow. Starting at the front, this new NX makes the old one look kinda silly. This new design looks more clean and straightforward. The new headlight unit now has the same look as the new Lexus IS and the UX, where the L-shaped daytime running lights are integrated within the headlight unit itself. This gives the new NX a more modern and cleaner design compared to last year's model. The hourglass grille now looks less obnoxious. In the previous NX, if you didn't get the F Sport bumper, you got this one that had a strange overbite design. It may have been better for off-roading, but it gave that crossover a really strange look. With this new NX, all of the front bumpers look similar, but if you go with the F Sport models, you'll get a more aggressive looking version with a more pronounced lip and a bigger looking brake duct. Around the side, the NX has a new set of sharp creased lines, giving it a whole new identity. And there's now less black cladding, making the new NX look less utilitarian and off-road friendly. Because let's be honest, who really off-roads these things anyway? Off-roading would also seem silly with these 20-inch 20-spoke wheels that look very sporty and also look very difficult to clean. These wheels come with the luxury package on this NX, which also gives other worthwhile equipment inside the car, which I'll share later. If you go with the NX F Sport models, there are slight visual changes around the side. For starters, the black cladding now gets some body paint, giving it a slightly wider body appearance, and there's an added F Sport badge on the front fender, and you'll also get a different set of 20-inch wheels. And finally, moving to the back, there's almost no resemblance to the old NX. There's now a continuous light bar across the hatch. The L logo has been replaced with the word Lexus, and the dual exhaust look is gone. Overall, the new NX looks really good and does a pretty good job carrying that new Lexus design language forward, as seen in the facelifted Lexus IS. If you'd like to see a review of that, click the link up here. Jumping inside, the Lexus NX has a massive leap forward in design, and there's a lot to talk about in here, but I want to first start with this 14-inch touchscreen because I think Lexus just fixed the one annoying thing that I really disliked about the old Lexus NX. This new NX is the first model that gets the new Lexus multimedia system, and it's built around the touchscreen. Now, touchscreens in cars aren't a new thing, but if you looked at how Lexus have been doing it for the past several years, you know that they've been using this touchpad device that's a huge source of criticism. It was difficult to use, and the fact that they didn't have a touchscreen forced you to use that touchpad all the time. And when you were driving, it was just very cumbersome to use. So as a result, Lexus reintroduced the touchscreen back with the old infotainment system, but that was still a bit weird to use because the infotainment system was not optimized for touchscreen use, like what you can find in the new Lexus GX, which I've also reviewed before, so if you want to see that review, click the link up here. And then now with the new NX, that touchpad interface is totally gone. We also get a brand new infotainment system that is a huge improvement over the old one. This new infotainment just works so much better. I like how the menu system is structured. It just makes sense where everything is located. This new infotainment also takes advantage of the fact that our phones are always with us, and you can actually turn your phone into a digital key as long as you have the Lexus app. And once you do that, you can actually share that key with up to 7 other people as long as they also have the Lexus app. That's kind of a cool and scary thought at the same time. I also love how there's wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto in this car. Toyota and Lexus has been one of the slower companies to adapt that technology, and now it's finally here. This being the optional 14-inch touchscreen unit, you can find that almost all of the controls are integrated into the screen, with the exception of some physical dials and buttons like the volume control and the temperature dials. Big bonus for me. You can see that the fan speed, the heated and ventilated seat controls, and other climate features have permanent screen real estate on the screen, which is a big bonus because in the previous one, all of those controls would be hidden in some sub-menu somewhere, and it's really annoying to get to. And since this has a 360-degree camera system, or what Lexus calls the panoramic view monitor, those images show up nicely on this very big screen. And one really cool detail that Lexus has added in here is that when you're going in reverse, it can actually project the road surface underneath the car. It can make the car almost transparent. I don't think there's cameras underneath this car, so Lexus must be doing some image manipulation to project what's underneath the car. And that's really cool. Moving to the driver's seat, you can find that there's a nice fully digital instrument cluster in this NX. This is a big upgrade over the previous one. This is a 7-inch digital screen, which isn't as big as what you can find in other cars, but that's totally okay because it's not a screen you should be focusing on anyway. One screen I will be looking at a lot is the 10-inch heads-up display, and there's a lot of information there. And what I really like about this screen is how well this works with the steering wheel buttons. When you graze your thumb over these buttons, it can actually sense it. And I like how you don't have to take your eyes off the road to see what you're trying to press. All that info is on the heads-up display. As for the rest of the interior, it also received a nice redesign. On the transmission tunnel, you'll find a drive mode dial where you can switch between Eco, Normal, and Sport. And right next to that, you'll find 2 USB ports. One is a USB-C and the other one is a traditional USB-A. Some cars have already made that jump to USB-C exclusively, so if you haven't made that transition yet, you can still use your older USB Type-A cables on this car. So thank you, Lexus. And then moving on down, you'll find a Qi wireless charger on here. I have an iPhone 12 Pro Max, and this charges my iPhone pretty reliably. And for a more secure hold, you can just slide this tray forward, and it'll actually reveal a hidden compartment. And moving to the left, you'll find the gear shifter here. This is similar to the one that you can find in the LC500. To shift, you basically just push it to the left and then push forward to go reverse or push back to go into drive. And then back here, you'll find some driving feature buttons like your EV mode, your parking brake, your auto brake hold, and then your traction control and some all-wheel drive settings. As for the seats, I love the quality of the leather in this thing. They are nicely contoured, and I like how it's also heated and ventilated. And moving to the second row, you have nice heated outboard seats here as well. And there's a decent amount of legroom back here at 36 inches. As for cargo space, the NX doesn't quite have as much room as other compact crossovers. There's only 22.7 cubic feet of space behind the second row and 46.9 cubic feet of space with the second row folded down. Just for comparison's sake, a Hyundai Tucson Hybrid, which is not a luxury compact crossover, has 38.7 cubic feet of space behind the second row and a gigantic 80.3 cubic feet of space with the second row folded down. If you want to see a review of that hybrid compact crossover, click the link up here. As for the driving experience, the Lexus NX does a really good job living up to that Lexus SUV driving experience, which means that it's a really comfortable commuter, and I would readily take this on a long road trip. The ride quality is superb, but it's not a very exciting car to drive, which is totally fine. The power plant is a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, and it comes with the Lexus hybrid drive system. And that's the same hybrid layout that you can find in other Toyota and Lexus cars. And if you want to hear an explanation on how that works, check the link up here. Now the net system horsepower in this NX 350 hybrid is 240, which should get you a decent 0 to 60 time of 7.2 seconds and a 39 miles per gallon under mixed driving. This NX hybrid also has all-wheel drive capability, but it's not the same type of all-wheel drive that you can find in other SUVs where there's a mechanical drive shaft coming from the engine all the way to the rear axle. Instead, this has an integrated electric motor for the rear axle, and it will just power the rear wheels when it actually needs it. Now, that's not to be confused with the NX 350 non-hybrid version, because that one is a more traditional all-wheel drive, and that can actually send 50% of the torque to the rear wheels. So, confused yet? Don't worry about it, because the all-wheel drive system is pretty decent. But I think that the NX 350 non-hybrid is going to be the better all-wheel drive car, just because it has that traditional mechanical drive shaft and it also has more power. Now, after having driven this for a week, the Lexus NX with this hybrid power plant is a solid, well-rounded commuter. Though the driving experience could be improved if it had a more exciting engine like the one you can find in the non-hybrid NX 350. The NX 450h Plus will be the most exciting version of this car because that is a plug-in hybrid. Now, I've driven the Toyota RAV4 Prime before, and that is the most exciting version of the RAV4. So when you put in that plug-in hybrid hardware into the Lexus NX, it's going to make that car feel so much more fun to drive. Assuming that you can actually find one of those things, because the RAV4 Prime is very rare. Hopefully that's not the case for the Lexus NX. If you're thinking about buying the new NX, I highly recommend it. Big thumbs up for me. This has a beautiful new exterior design, beautiful new interior, and a much improved infotainment system. If you are thinking about buying it, I would skip out on the base NX 250 because that has a more lackluster engine. Personally, I would buy the NX 350 non-hybrid version because that has the turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, which is going to make a good amount of power. I would also get the F Sport version because that has the F Sport tuned adaptive variable suspension, and I love how the F Sport version on these crossovers will have less black cladding than these ones. I just think they look really good. I want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think about the new Lexus NX? Please leave your comments down below. I want to thank you so much for watching up to this point. My name is Hanson. You've been watching the 2022 Lexus NX, and I'll see you next time.